Hello friends and welcome to Cozy Leaf Club, a corner on the internet for indoor plant lovers and hopefully outdoor plants in the near future. My name is Rumble Mercy. I actually have another channel called Rumble Mercy where I talk about art and all things creativity. So if you haven't followed me from there, nice to meet you. If you have, hi. I started my plant collecting journey in 2025, so I'm still very new to the scene, but I really wanted to create a little community online with other people to share my journey, my progress, some of my highs, my lows, and every adventure I have collecting plants here in South Africa. And so if that's something you're interested in seeing, make sure you subscribe and follow me on Instagram as well. I think there'll be other socials with the same name, Cozy Leaf Club, and you will see more updates from me. This is going to be a more low-key channel. For the most part, this is just going to be a chat and conversation around stuff that we really love, which is plants. Without rambling on for too long, we're going to get started with this video, which is my top 10 plants in 2025. My first plant is the Scindapsus pictus, or the Satin pothos. If you don't know this plant, it's not actually a pothos. She, I think, was my second trailing plant that I had ever gotten. So I got this earlier in the year. Most of the growth had not come over, it was pretty much here, but over the year it has grown pretty quickly. The bottom leaves are smaller than the top leaves, but it's fine. And where I have her is on this bookshelf, so she does get some pretty good light in this window, but it's not like right by the window, and there isn't a grow light. I don't actually have any grow lights yet, but I am looking into investing some for next year so that I can have more plants. But anyway, she has been great. I don't have to think about her, she just grows. I do sometimes err on the side of watering when the soil is very dry, because I really don't want to deal with root rot. Not very dry, sorry, when the soil is dry, because I don't want to deal with root rot. And so I've never had to deal with anything in terms of her. The only thing I've had to deal with is that there was a worm that started eating this leaf. I don't know if it's focused, but yeah, and I think there was another one, but other than that, she's been great. I highly recommend her. It's also very satisfying, especially as someone who's very new to growing plants and had the preconception that I would kill anything that comes into my possession, and I didn't. This one just continued to grow, and so I really loved seeing it just go longer and longer. I did end up cutting one of the vines to try and propagate, and I don't know if it's just me. I have it propagated in sphagnum moss in a prop box. Sphagnum moss? Whatever. And it's much slower than my other pothos that I have propagated the same way. So I don't know if it's just because it's a slower grower, but either way, no notes. The leaves are also very pretty. If you see it in person, they kind of shimmer, just like its older sister that I will show you up next. Its leaves are actually really shimmery and kind of like silvery-ish, and they feel velvety. That's why I like hence Satin pothos. Oh my gosh, and she has a baby leaf. And so I really like this, especially as like a beginner plant, which has a little something else. It's a slightly different shade of green. It has this like silver spotty variegation and stuff like that. So I really love her. The next plant that is in my top 10 for 2025 is actually my newest plant, and so it doesn't really make sense that it would already appear, but I just really like how cute she looks. And it is the Peperomia Hope, and this is how she looks like. It does end up trailing, and I think I got her like 2 weeks ago, maybe, or maybe even last week. I don't know, this is very new, but I have wanted her for a couple months now, just because I think the leaves are so cute. I think I saw this plant on Jungle Haven's YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken. It looks so cute, and it looks like a game. It looks like it would be a plant in like Animal Crossing or something. I haven't even played Animal Crossing before, but I don't know, its leaves are just so like animated and round, and I like the color. Also the brown of the stems are really cute and stuff. And also I think this might be my first Peperomia that I have that trails. Already there are new leaves growing, and also I was influenced because they said it is a relatively easy Peperomia to look after. When I started as a plant parent, I was using Google to figure out what plants are easy and also pet safe because I have a cat, because I didn't know if my cat would be interested in these plants. But newsflash, he does not care about any of them. He has never cared. He has never tried to lick any, rub himself on any or whatever, and that's why I have all the different ones I do without worrying. But Peperomia was on the list, specifically a raindrop Peperomia was on a list on a website that I went to that said it was easy and pet friendly, so I got it. Now looking back, Peperomia would not be in my first plants to buy as a new plant parent, because all of the plants that I have unalived this year have been Peperomias, but I still end up buying them. And so I'm hoping this won't be a repeat of the recent history. So yeah, I think she just looks super cute, and it's very different to all of the other leaves that I have in my collection currently. It's succulent-esque, but because of the shape being round, aside from my raindrop Peperomia that will very soon be no more, it's also a cute like variation of foliage to have in someone's collection. So I can't wait to show you how this one grows. I have it in like a very roughly built DIY macrame hanging thing by my window, just so that I make sure it gets all the light it needs. And I will exclusively water this plant when the soil is dry, as with my other Peperomias, because lesson learned, they do not like to have soggy roots. Oh, I think I'm gonna bring out my favorite one, and this is She the Drama has arrived. This is probably my favorite plant of the year, and it probably will be my favorite for a long time, just because of how beautiful she is and how beautiful she has grown and how far she has grown this year. This is my Syngonium albo, and I just want a moment to behold how pretty she is. Look how stunning those leaves are. Need I say more about this plant? So earlier this year I went to a plant expo here in South Africa, and that was still when I had, I think, maybe like 5 plants, and I was very new to rare plant collecting and all of that type of stuff. But I saw it on Instagram and I decided to go, and that's when my eyes truly opened to how many types of plants and people and stuff there are. And so at that point I didn't even know what a Syngonium was, but I got 2 Syngoniums from there. I think the first one, I think it's called a Syngonium red arrow, but it was a small plant with about like 4 leaves. It was like a cutting. And then I went to another stall, which I still buy plants from to this day. It's Growco Nursery. I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. It's either Growco Nursery that I went to their stand, or Fuzzy Roots Nursery that I went to. Either or, I still buy from both of them today. I'm actually expecting another Syngonium from Fuzzy Roots, so I will leave links to their websites down below, because I went up to her. She's super friendly, super sweet, and I said, listen, I am new to this plant parenting thing, very excited, but I have no idea what to get, and I have no idea what plant to get that will not die on my watch very easily. And so she recommended a Syngonium. I had been eyeing it truthfully because it was one of, if not the only variegated plants I saw there which were not low-key expensive. This one was only 100 Rand, and so I was eyeing it and I was like, can I buy this and not kill it? And she was like, Yes, I brought her home, and since then she has been just pushing out leaves left, right, and center, pushing out very beautiful leaves without me doing much. I just kept her in well-draining soil. Most of it is still what it came in, but I had recently upsized the pot because the roots were starting to become root brown. But just she is so pretty. She is a very good option for a variegated plant, which is not costing an arm and a leg. So you get like your good return on investment of having these pretty leaves. But if you're starting out, yeah. Another thing I really like about this albo is I have never had to deal, or I have very rarely had to deal with the white parts molting. But as you can tell, she is still very much thriving. There are actually 1, 2, 3 new leaves on the way. This is one of the most recent leaves. There you go. This one, and then my first half moon one where it's exactly half and half. It is so cool. My next one is actually something I swore never to get and then I got it. This is an Anthurium crystallinum. The reason why I said I didn't want to get this one is because, like I said, I am a newer plant parent. And everything I had learned from the get-go about Anthurium and Alocasias is they are more finicky and they will let you know if they don't like the conditions you're growing them in. I said, you know what, Anthurium, not for me. I'm gonna kill these things. And then I saw this one at the nursery. Unlike the Anthuriums that I saw being sold on the plant selling groups or plant sale groups, which were, let's be honest, a bit expensive, this one wasn't. Relatively, this was cheaper. And so I was like, you know what, I might as well try. And this is how she looks like. I think when I got her, the only leaves she had were these 3. And so since then she has put out 3. There was another one that died when I was on a trip. The leaves aren't perfect. I know they look a little worse for wear. Some of them already came with crust, so this one was already a half leaf. This one I had just cut because the brown part was starting to travel a bit. I get it. And this one just grew like this for some reason. However, look at this. It is my newest leaf, and she, knock on wood, is perfect. She is so cute. It's like a heart. It's like the first one. This was the first leaf that I was like, okay, I'm sold. I'll take it. Because it's really cute. It's like a heart, man. But we have a new one. And so I know she's like happy. I also made the executive decision to put her in a see-through pot so that I could examine the roots and make sure that I don't under or over water, and I would say I've been doing a pretty good job with that. I do water when the soil is looking dry and also if the roots aren't green, so that's when I decide to water. I don't make it like bone dry. I don't do that. But I try and make sure, and it's also been very well draining soil, so I didn't think I would get here. I don't know if I'll be an Anthurium collector because I'm still at that stage where I think everything looks the same, or at least like most of these ones. Some of them like have very different ones, but as for these styled Anthuriums, I don't know if I'd be a collector per se, maybe if I have more space in the future. But as for my experiment with looking after one, it has been going well, and I absolutely love her, adore her. So the 5th plant that I have, I'm not going to hold it because it's quite big and heavy because I just watered it, so I will show you b-roll footage. But this is, I think it might have been my 3rd plant, and it is my Philodendron congo rojo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know Spanish, I'm so sorry. But my congo rojo, I love her so much. I am so sad because recently when I was gone away for the trip, she had a fungal infection. It was raining a lot and she's by my window, and so I guess the humidity just spurred things, and now she had a nasty fungal infection. And so I am regularly checking up with her and also applying fungicide to her and a couple others. Funnily enough, it was only philodendrons that got the fungal infection and a little bit of my baby Monstera deliciosa. But yeah, so a lot of her leaves are very spotty. However, she is still my favorite. I love waiting to see another big leaf grow and open and reveal itself. It was my first bigger plant because all of the other ones were roughly the size when I first started collecting, and so I felt like a proper plant owner with her. Does that make sense? Philodendrons are so pretty, or at least like the philodendrons I have are so pretty because their newer leaves are a different color and then they harden into green. I know it's not only philodendrons, but I mean my Congo rojo has like a beautiful like reddish maroonish color as a juvenile. It's not as poignant as like a red emerald or the other one on my list that I will show you, but it is so pretty, and then when it hardens it just is this really cool sturdy plant. I've never, other than this fungal infection, had issues with my Congo rojo on the slower side compared to my other ones. I don't know if it's just because I hadn't repotted her in time for when she became root bound, but it is a bit on the slower side. But honestly, I feel like that just makes it more satisfying to see like a leaf forming and then waiting a couple weeks, or you know, waiting a bit to see it unfurl finally into this pretty thing. So yeah, I'm also glad I got her on sale. And so on sale it looked a little rough, not really rough, it just looked a little awkward because it only had 3 leaves, but now I think it has 6 or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, love her. I think she looks great. Low maintenance, and yeah. The 6th plant on my top 10 is another trailing plant, and I really wish I showed this to you before I decided to chop and butcher this thing left, right, and center. But it is my Cebu blue pothos, whatever it is. And let me tell you something. This, I think, if you are able to find one as a beginner, get this as a pothos, because this is the most satisfying thing to grow, because she grew so quickly and she's already sizing up. I actually didn't think it was gonna size up the leaves because it's a hanging one and I'm not having it like climb something, but she has been growing non-stop since I have bought her. I bought her at the same expo that I got the Syngonium albo, and this one too was because I was intrigued because it just looks like a green leaf. I know for me at first it just looked like, oh, this is just like a regular green leaf, but in person it has a beautiful milky bluish tint that is still to this day one of my favorite like colors. Like, I mean, look at this. It is it's so pretty, and it's not really showing that much on camera, which hurts my heart. But I absolutely love the color of the Cebu blue pothos, and so I was drawn to it. Also, it was relatively cheaper, and at that point I wanted to get a lot of trailing plants to fill up the space in my collection. But she is long. She was actually much taller than me. I would say easily 10 meters long, but I had chopped her to try and make the top part less bald-headed, and so there are a lot of propagations going on. I have created some. This is one that I just potted from her. I have others going in Sphagnum moth. I actually have a lot of cuttings going on in Sphagnum. My Cebu blue pothos is easily one of my most favorite plants in my entire collection. Very easy, and like when I tell you this thing grew so fast, maybe it's because I have it hanging in the window and so it does get quite a lot of light. But yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend putting her as close to the window as I do, because some of the leaves do tend to crisp up at the tips. It's just because I hang it on the curtain rod and that's the only solution for her right now. But honestly, I'm pretty fine with it. But it grows so quickly. Like it's already, this leaf just opened and it's already pushing out leaf here as well as here, and also there are 2 going on top, so 3 actually. Oh my gosh, wow. But yeah, she just grows non-stop. Cebu blue pothos, if you can find one, it is very satisfying. It is so pretty, and also so long as you don't overwater it, give it adequate sun, have a well-draining aeroid soil mix, which is easy to you know, combine and make yourself, then you're sorted. So I actually do want to take one of my successful propagations, or a couple of them, to try and grow up, because I've seen mature Cebu pothos leaves. I want to see that so badly. I don't know how I'm going to show this fully, but this is my Anthurium vitarifolium. Listen, my Anthurium vitarifolium, I absolutely adore strappy leafed plants, especially drapey strappy leafed plants. And so when I first saw this one, I think it was on Good Growing's YouTube channel, either Good Growing or Wild Fern, I actually don't remember. But when I first saw it, I was gobsmacked in love, because I was like, oh my gosh, I can get one of those. It is so pretty, and once it grows like long, it just drapes so beautifully. I really like all strappy leafed anthuriums. If there's one strappy leafed anthurium that I would never get in my entire life, it is the Warocquianum. I've just seen too many horror stories and I don't want to hurt my heart like that. But in terms of like vitarifolium, pletiforums, the wendlinger, wow, this one I can't pronounce it. I got her through a WhatsApp sale of someone who was overseas in Thailand, so this was shipped from Thailand. I can't remember the name of the nursery. I think it was When in Bloom, if I'm not mistaken. And for the price, for the size, it's actually a variegated one, but I think it will lose its variegation. It's very subtle, but you know what, honestly, that is fine. I didn't want a variegated one because I really liked the like thick green draping leaves, and so I am obsessed with this one. I want to get a pletiform, and I definitely want to get a that one and then I think it's a philodendron though, I'm not so sure, the vetii, something like that. This is definitely easily one of my most favorites. This was one that I had been looking high and low for, one that wouldn't cost me an arm and a leg, but I also wanted something that was past pup stage because I am impatient. And so luckily this one, most of the leaves when it came were around this size. And then this is its newest leaf, and is this its newest leaf? Yeah, this is its newest leaf. And it's sizing up quick, and I'm so happy. Like, just look how stunning. Imagine this when it's like on a shelf and when it's like more mature and it just drapes. So I think this is the kind of Anthurium that I am more comfortable growing. I actually saw a more mature one. I was in Washington, DC for the holidays, and I went into the conservatory and they had a vitarifolium, and I think it was also flowering at that point, but I was obsessed. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what my plant is gonna look like. Of course it's not, because my room is not an entire conservatory, but I was really excited. So yeah, big sister to my Satin pothos, and that is my Scindapsus Silver Splash. She's also fairly newer. I think since I bought her, like, from this side and this side are all new, and so I'm super excited. But look, do I need to say much? Look at that. It is like my Satin pothos but bigger. I didn't realize the size of a Silver Splash until I saw it in person. And so I'm gonna be so for real. Scindapsuses all look very similar. If there's one thing I have had a struggle with understanding more, is differentiating different varieties within like a species or whatever. Especially ones that look so similar. And so in terms of Scindapsuses and stuff like that, like there are some where it's very obvious, but there are others where I'm like, I can't tell. And so with the Silver Splash, I thought it was just because like the silver variegated parts are a lot more than Pictus, but also it is just huge. I didn't know it was gonna be this big. Granted, they're still quite like, it's very bushy at the top, and so I imagine as it trails it will kind of be a bit smaller. But like, for example, this is a new leaf. What do you mean? This leaf is like the palm of my hand, if not almost the size of my hand. Just look how beautiful. these leaves are, and I just love how bushy it is at the top right now. Similar to my Cebu pothos, I also have this hanging on the curtain rod by the window. However, I have it on the other side, and so it's not as direct sun that hits this, but it still gets quite a lot of light. I'm happy where she is. I wish I could see more because it's hanging. I can't really see the top, but honestly, but regardless, it still is absolutely beautiful. I am hoping this is in focus. If not, that is embarrassing. No notes, same thing as with the silver splash, as with the satin pothos. When I saw this in the nursery, I just knew I had to go back and get it. So they were only there for a short time. They also sold very quickly. At one point, I don't know if I want to like combine them. I don't know, I'm thinking. My 9th top plant of the year is a big one. I don't know how much I'm going to show her on the screen, but it is my Philodendron Prince of Orange. So this is the plant that I said had a really pretty color for the juvenile leaves as they like shoot out, and this one isn't open yet. I was hoping by the time of recording it would have opened, but she'll still have shown you how orange it is. But you can already, I don't know how I can show this to you, you can already see the color. This plant is beautiful. It's a bright orange when the leaves unfurl and then they harden into green. But also it just keeps growing. I have 2 active growth points, and so here is another leaf, and then this one is opening already. But as you can see, this one is one that is hardening to a green, and this is also a fairly new one. The back of the leaves are still really pretty orange because they're quite new. So I am absolutely obsessed with this plant. Yeah, it is also very wide. As you can see, it's a more widespread one, but it is so cute, and it is such a statement piece because of all of its new leaves. I'm so excited to see each one unfurl, and it's just been sizing up. Some of the leaves, this was the other philodendron that did get damage from the fungal infection. I don't know if you can see those dots, and so I am kind of miffed about that. But the most recent new leaf doesn't really have that much of the spots, so I'm hoping it will start to clear, but I am noting them. This one doesn't stay in my room anymore. It is outside with the other philodendron because I have quarantined them in fear of them spreading to all of my other plants. I actually have a baby Prince of Orange as well. She also got a bit of the damage from the fungal infection, so you can see some of the spots. Regardless, she has 2 new leaves growing. This one up here and then a baby one down there. I didn't know if I was going to keep her, but you know what? I'll keep her. It's cute. And so I'll keep the little one with her mom. The last one is also, I think this is actually my newest plant in the collection, but need I say why she is in my top 10? This is a Alocasia frydek. I got this from Woolies, grocery store, retail store in South Africa. I don't think I have to say much. I just look at how amazing this is. I had always been drawn to an Alocasia frydek, but I had been running away from it because, like I said, I had heard all of the stories, the horror stories of Alocasias being very finicky and stuff like that. This was also before I got a humidifier, so I was like, if I bring something in, it's just gonna die. However, as soon as I saw this in the store, this was in a shopping mall, I knew I had to bring her home. It is so big. Like, it is so big, and so I don't have to worry about establishing it. But also, it's just so striking. I mean, look how huge that leaf is. It looks fake because its veins are so like contrasted against and thick against the leaf, but it is so pretty. Originally when I got it, it was a around, like the leaves will well evenly spread around, but because I have it facing the window, they've very quickly started facing the window, so it is lopsided. I don't care because she is already unfurling three, oh my gosh, 3 more leaves in my care, so I'm doing something right. When I got her, she just had these 2 leaves, and so these are the newest leaves. They were unfurling and already they are so stunning, and now this one looks like it's gonna be a big one, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy with this plant. It is so pretty, and one of my wish list items actually is the variegated version of the frydek. I saw this one in a coffee shop in North Carolina, and it was so pretty, and so I'm hoping next year I will be able to get her a sister, but no notes. I hope I look after this well. It is in a moisture retaining soil, the same one from the store. I don't want to play with it because it's already so big, and I don't know much about soil mixes and all of that stuff, but actually I do. I know basic soil mixes, so I don't want to disturb the piece whilst it's thriving. But just look at her. She is so pretty. Some of the leaves had a slight variegation. That's why I picked this one actually. Like this leaf here. I don't know if something happened to the plant or if it's just like variegated by chance, but I don't care. She is so cute. So yeah, but anyway, those are my top 10 plants. I'm excited to record this video because then in a year's time I can see how much they have grown, so stay tuned. But yeah, I look forward to chatting with you more on this channel, sharing all the ups and downs, so keep your eyes out. My camera died. That's embarrassing, but I was just gonna end off the video. Thank you so much for watching. I am excited for what's next. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well under the same name, Cozy Leaf Club. No dots, no dashes. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.